Okay, today I'm going to show you how to change the spring on your shooter rod. I'm talking about the spring that's out there on the rod that you can see, not the one that's on the inside of the cabinet. This little guy. And I am changing it inside of my Lord of the Rings. The reason for it is the person that owned it before me took, there's two sizes of springs that you generally can order. There's a little bit longer one, and then there's a little bit of a shorter one. Well, some of the newer Stern games use the shorter spring, and it looks like the person before me installed the longer spring. Then when they found that they were probably trying to plunge the ball, it wasn't working. So it looks like they Dremel cut the spring, but then they've cut it too short, but they left it that way. The problem that's causing is it's making the shooter tip push against the ball in the shooter lane. And it's fine if you manually plunge it, but if you auto plunge it, it's really, really weak. About half the time it doesn't make it up. So once you start a multi-ball and it tries to kick those balls out, it doesn't make it. You can tell that there's not enough spring in it. I mean, this Spider-Man's one I just replaced. If you listen, it's nice and springy. And then you listen to the Lord of the Rings, big clunk. The spring is too small, so it compresses all the way and doesn't have that nice spring. So we're going to take a look inside on how to change this here on my Lord of the Rings. So the first thing you need to do is take the lock bar off. You'll need to remove the glass as well. And then you will need to raise the play field. Now, I can show you real quickly what it looks like inside of here. This is the whole shooter assembly. Outside you got the housing, and then inside you've got the spring inside that causes the tension when you pull back, and the part that's actually creating the pull and the quick release. You got your shooter tip, you'll need to remove that, and then there's a washer and an E-clip. The E-clip is right here behind the shooter tip, so what you'll need to do is take a pair of needle nose pliers and pull that E-clip off after you've removed the tip. Then you'll be able to slide the washer off, you'll be able to slide off the spring and just pull it right out. Once you do that, once you've pulled it all out, you can slide this up the top. Then you'll want to take your new spring, put it in its place, slide it back in, reverse the process. Then you put the long spring in on the inside, slide the washer over it, and then snap the E-clip back into place. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll take a look at how much springier it is when I'm done. Okay, so I've gone ahead, as I said, pulled everything off, replaced the spring. Now listen, much better than the big clunk I was getting. So not only will it, make for a better bounce in the spring, but it will make sure that the shooter tip is aligned properly with the ball in the shooter lane. The skill shots will be controlled as they properly should be. The game will just play a whole lot better as a result. And now, once multi-ball starts, the kicker will be able to hit the ball correctly because it won't be sitting up in front of it further away than it should be, and the game will just play a whole lot better. So it's a simple fix. A lot of times when people have issues with the shooter lane, they think that the plunger's not kicking, the auto plunger's not kicking hard enough, this assembly. Sometimes maybe you do need to swap out the coil sleeve that's inside the coil there, or maybe you're getting low voltage to it. But the vast majority of the time, your plunger spring's probably a little bit worn down. Maybe the shooter tip has worn off as well, and the ball's sitting in a weird spot. But yeah, typically your spring's going to need to be replaced for those auto plungers to work well on games that also have a manual plunger.